Joining me right now to talk more about that is retired two-star Marine Corps general, the Punaro Group CEO, and the author of the book, The Ever-Shrinking Fighting Force. General Arnold Punaro is here. General, good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. I want to get your reaction to the president's Middle East trip so far. And what do you think comes out of this meeting with the Saudis?
Well, Maria, first, on a lighter note, I want to thank you for that inspirational segment early in the week on your Italian heritage. Like yours, both sets of my grandparents came over from Italy in the early 1900s. They were also restaurateurs. They didn't have a brick oven pizza, but they claimed to make the world's best meatballs. Grandmother Punaro was a tough taskmaster. We called her top sergeant, and she only spoke Italian, but you know, if you kind of crossed her up, she'd look at you and start doing like this, and you knew you were going to get walloped and not get any of those great meatballs. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, my God. I love that story. I bet you we have very similar upbringings in our Italian heritage, because when our ancestors came over from Italy, they had very strict ideas, and they were pretty much married to the values of that Italian upbringing.
Absolutely, and you know, I benefited from it. And my youngest grandson, now a year and a half, his favorite meal is spaghetti and meatballs, so he's growing up in the right way.
I love it. I love that meatball story. Oh, boy. Okay, well, I'm really glad you caught that segment. Thank you so much. I mean, I want to thank Ancestry for doing such a great job in coming up with the background of my family. Because, look, at the end of the day, we're all immigrants, right? We all came here. Our ancestors came to America searching for opportunity. And that's the reason we go back to talk about policy, to talk about cherishing the values of America, and that is our freedom and liberty.
Amen. And that's why this trip to the Middle East that you've brought up is so important, because we need to restore and repair these important relationships in the Middle East. With Israel, with Palestine, particularly with Saudi Arabia. He'll also be meeting with the Gulf states, where we need to put together a NATO-type Gulf Coordination Council. And a lot of our interests, we have to also understand that we have to look at the long march of history, and we're not always going to be in agreement with some of the countries we have to work with. If you take Saudi Arabia, for example, one of the reasons that we did so well in the early stages of the Gulf War is during the Reagan administration, we gave the Saudis airborne command and control, the AWACS system, and we trained with them for years. And that was that ability for our aircraft to basically, with precision, take out so much of the Iraqi forces early on. Think about, you know, other countries. France, for years during the Cold War, were not a member of the NATO Integrated Military Command, but in the Revolutionary War, France hadn't been fought with us side by side, we might not have done as well. So we have to basically take things in stride. In terms of what we want to achieve, you want to keep the peace treaty and stabilization in Yemen. You want to counter Iran. Saudi is the de facto leader of the Arab world. They hate Iran. Iran hates Saudi, so our interests coincide there. They are the only country that has excess production capacity for oil. We certainly in the U.S. should be a major independent exporter of oil. We aren't right now, but we could be. So there are a lot, and build on the Abraham Accord. So there's a lot positive that could be accomplished during this very important trip.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned Iran, General, because now the word is that a deal is all but done for the United States to get back into the Iran deal. And that's one of the reasons that the Saudis didn't even take President Biden's phone call several months ago. And this president has stopped short. Yesterday, he stopped short of saying that he will bring up Jamal Khashoggi at the meeting with the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and the official generals. The whole storyline has changed here with oil prices having gone up all the way up to 120. He wants the Saudis to pick up the job of putting more oil on the market so that he doesn't have to go to American producers and go against the progressives' climate change agenda.
Well, Maria, unfortunately, the freight train has left the station in terms of Iran and nuclear. They're at 95% uranium enrichment. I think we ought to pay attention to Lieutenant General Jim Clapper, the former director of national intelligence in the Obama administration. He said having any kind of deal, resuscitating that deal with Iran is not realistic and practical now. we need to figure out, working with Saudi, working with Israel, working with the other states that are at risk, to figure out, to frankly keep Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. They're one of the few countries, frankly, that would use a nuclear weapon. I think we deter Russia and China because of the mutually assured destruction. But this is a very, very worrisome thing. But inking a new deal, it's not going to happen. We've just got to basically, Iran needs to understand we are not going to permit them to get a nuclear weapon. And you're correct on oil. We've got to stabilize the oil prices and continue to push in that area. Saudi oil is very important to our European allies, and we're trying to get them to reduce their dependence on oil and gas from Russia, which they continue to still buy and put money in Putin's war coffers against Ukraine.
Well, that's right. And he's still making money on the sale of oil, and he's using that revenue to continue to create death and destruction in Ukraine. So we'll keep following that, and we'll see if anything comes out of this meeting. General, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Before you go, let me ask you, Grandma Punaro's meatballs, did she put breadcrumbs in those meatballs, General?
Well, she claimed that their recipe was top secret, and she and my Aunt Teresa used to argue about what went on, but I'm pretty sure, yes, she did. There were breadcrumbs in the meatballs.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. General, it's good to see you. Thanks very much. Great conversation. Have a great weekend,
Anytime.
sir.